First off, you need your international passport. This is very mandatory. Now I'm going to be giving you tips that you need in case you're traveling to Ghana anytime soon. Now in today's video, I'm going to be telling you all the requirements you need to travel to Ghana. Now, if you've checked my previous video, you would see that I traveled to Ghana last year. That's December, I think 3rd week of December. And then I've gotten a lot of inquiries, a lot of DMs rather, asking questions about how to go about traveling to Ghana. Now, in today's video, I'm just going to be telling you what you need, the relevant documents you need to travel to Ghana. So let's go. First off, you need your international passport. This is very mandatory. It's very key. If you want to travel to Ghana, you need to come with your international passport, and it has to be valid for at least 6 months. Okay, so it means that the expiration date should be within 6 months upwards. Do you understand? So that's tip number one. That's the first thing you need rather if you're traveling to Ghana. And then also, let me just put this here. If you are coming from Nigeria, you want to travel to Ghana from Nigeria, good news. Yes, I had to write this down so I don't misquote what he said. So the Minister of Interior, that is Honorable Tunji Ojo, just said that we can all apply for our passports online. Now, when I got my passport, I got it, I think, last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember. I had to go to the immigration office in Gwagwalada, for those of us in Abuja, and it's quite far because it's like outside town, and you can imagine the stress going and then coming. Luckily for me, I met someone that, you know, I just spoke to the person, and the person helped to fast track me getting my passport. So it took me about 1 week to get my international passport. That was then when you had to go to the office to register, you know, go with your national ID card, go with your passport and other necessary documents. But right now, the minister just said that you can apply for your international passports online. You guys don't know how lucky you are, because that saves you time, it saves you energy, it saves you from stressing yourself. Now, this doesn't just apply to Nigerians at home, all right? Nigerians in the diaspora, you can also apply for your international passport. If yours is already expired, you can revalidate it, you can renew your passport. Now, document number 2, you need your yellow fever card. I don't want to show you my name. You need your yellow fever card. Now, I don't know how else to put this so you can understand me. Look, before I went to Ghana, it was my first time, obviously. So I had to make necessary research, right? And then someone gave me a contact of a travel agent, and then he told me that, oh, I have to pay him, I think he said 30,000 naira to get my yellow fever card. And then he said I had to pay about 25,000 naira to get my COVID card. Now, I didn't know because it was my first time, so I didn't even know if that was like the actual price or not, right? So I actually agreed, but before I made the payment, I just decided to do more research on Ghana, and then I found out that you can actually get your yellow fever card by yourself. You can get your yellow fever card from the government. You can get the original yellow fever card from the government. Guess what? This costs me 2,150 naira to get. Make it make sense to me. And I was about to literally pay a travel agent 30,000 naira or 25 or 30,000 naira. You can imagine. And guess what? Why it's also good for you to get this from the government is because the immigration officers actually know the original yellow fever card and the fake yellow fever card. Now, when I got to Accra airport, the lady in front of me were at the checkpoint, right, where the immigration officers had to you know, ask us questions and the rest. And then they saw her card, and then they were like, oh no, this card is not the original yellow fever card. It looks quite the same, but then the color, you can tell from the color is it's pale, right? And then they told her she didn't get the original one, that she's holding the fake one, and she had to step aside. Now I'm sure she probably paid an agent to get her the yellow fever card, and I'm sure she probably paid about 20 to 40,000 naira, and they didn't give her the original card. So please, if you are in the city of Abuja, just carry yourself and go to Federal Ministry of Health. The headquarters, the office is in Abuja, I think central area. And all you need to do, look, I'm going to try and drop the website where you can register to get your yellow fever card. So all you need to do is log onto the website. They're going to ask you to upload your passport's bio page. That's the first page, and then you make your payment. Once you're done making your payment, you make your payment online. Just go to a nearby cafe, print out the slip, take it to Federal Ministry of Health, show them, and then they're going to give you the vaccination. I didn't have any side effects. Before I took it, I was actually scared because I thought I was going to have lots of side effects, you know, taking the yellow fever vaccination, but I didn't have any side effects, and I'm sure you're not going to have any side effects. I'm saying this in faith for you. So I got my vaccination, and then within 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes, I got my card. So please do not make the same mistake. I'm not trying to advise not to use a travel agent, don't get me wrong. You can use a travel agent, but make sure that they are giving you the original card. If you don't have a problem with paying 30,000 naira when you can literally just pay the government 2,000 naira to get this, then that's fine. That's actually fine. But please make sure you get the original one. And guess what, it's not something that you have to keep renewing every single time. This is valid for 10 years. Yes, 10 whole years. So it means that for the next 10 years I do not need to renew my yellow fever card. Okay, now the third important document you need to travel to Ghana is your COVID card. Okay, now I'm just joking, scrap that, I'm just joking. You do not need your COVID card to travel to Ghana. You do not need your COVID card to travel to Ghana. I am saying this because I didn't know. You see, and that's why you guys have me, really. That's why you have me, because I've made these mistakes so that you don't make the same mistake I made. It was like 2 weeks to my trip to Ghana, and I just realized that, oh, I have to get my COVID card. I saw it on some websites, about 2 or 3 websites, that you have to get your COVID card. And then I saw it on another website that says, oh, no, you don't have to bring your COVID card. And because I was scared, because it was my first time, I wanted to do everything right. And I had to pay extra to get my COVID card. But like I said, you do not need your COVID card. Okay? How do I hide my details? Okay, so this is it. Your international passport, it has to be valid for at least 6 months. No, you don't need your COVID card. Your yellow fever card. Okay, so you just need 2 important documents to travel to Ghana. Now I'm going to be giving you tips that you need in case you're traveling to Ghana anytime soon. All right, now tip number 1, connecting flight. Look, if you're going to Ghana on a budget, you need to book your flight ahead of time, okay? Because if you book your flight close to your travel date, it's going to be more expensive. So just try to book your flight like 2 weeks or even a month before you travel. And now secondly, connecting flights are actually cheaper. Now, I had to leave Abuja and then to Lagos before going to Ghana because it was cheaper for me. One-way flight from Abuja to Ghana, that was about 1.2 million naira. Yes, but then because I took a connecting flight, I paid about 50% of that. So if you're on a budget, use a connecting flight. Okay, now please, you have to excuse me that I'm always reading these tips. This is like an impromptu video. I just realized I've been getting lots of inquiries, like I said, about Ghana, so I just needed to make this video ASAP. Now number 2 is Wi-Fi. Now Wi-Fi, I think Wi-Fi is easily accessible in Ghana based on my own experience. You know, when I landed Accra International Airport, MTN, that's the network service I use, they sent me a message saying that, oh, I could actually get data bundle since, you know, I've left Nigeria and I'm in Ghana. I can get data bundle, but then it was actually higher. For example, if I buy 5 gigabytes with 5,000 naira, this is an example, in Ghana I will have to pay about 15,000 naira to buy that same 5 gigabytes. So I didn't go for it. Okay, And because I was only staying for 2 days, I didn't bother to get a SIM card. Based on what I heard, I think a SIM card cost about 400 cedis, 4 to 500 cedis. So I just relied on Wi-Fi. Now, the first hotel I stayed at, they had free Wi-Fi. The second hotel, free Wi-Fi. All my Uber drivers, on their Wi-Fi for me. So Ghanaians are nice people. If you need Wi-Fi, just tell them politely. But if you're staying for a long period of time, if you're staying for 5 days, 1 week, 2 months, then you have to just get your SIM, because you do not have to. You can't keep relying on someone for Wi-Fi for that long period of time. Okay. Now, tip number 3, bookings.com. Like I said, it was my first time going to Ghana, so I didn't know anything about Ghana. I didn't know the safe places, the unsafe places. So I just had to use bookings.com to search for an apartment. And one thing I like about bookings.com is that it gives you the list of apartments. It ranges it from price to location to ratings, all those things. So if you're looking for a very cheap apartment, the first apartment I stayed at was the Lennox apartment. If you've not seen my vlog in Ghana, my video in Ghana, please look at it. I'm going to leave the link up here. Just watch it right after you're done watching this. Thank you. Now, my first hotel was the Lennox apartment, and that cost about $120 per night. And the second hotel I stayed at was Beauty Hotel at Spintex. That cost about $27 per night, and that's about 325 cedis as when I was in Ghana. Okay, so you can use bookings.com to check for an apartment. If you want an apartment that has plenty ratings, plenty reviews, you're going to see it there on bookings.com. Okay, now tip number 5 is transportation. Now, for me, transportation was a bit easy. At first, I got a free ride from the airport to my apartment, with the amazing friend I met, Sapphire. But then movement within Accra, I had to use Uber. Okay, so Uber and Bolt works perfectly well in Ghana. But then some Ghanaians suggested a certain app named Yaaay. According to them, this app is cheaper than Uber and Bolt. When I actually checked it, it's actually cheaper than Uber and Bolt. But then I found it difficult to use. I only used it once because it didn't have most of my locations. Like for example, I'm going from Spintex back to Airport Residential. It didn't have Airport Residential. I don't know how to explain it, but Yaaay app wasn't working for me. Okay, but you can try it, or you can just stick to Uber or Bolt, and the prices are literally affordable. From the airport to my hotel cost about, I think, 35 cedis. That was if I was going to use Uber, but like I said, I didn't use Uber. So I think the prices are a bit fair. They're reasonable. Okay. Now, the last tip is immigration. Now, immigration wasn't stressful for me at all. Maybe because I'm favored. On a serious note, immigration is not stressful. Just have all your documents. Have all the required things that they need, and you're good to go. It took me about 10 minutes to get cleared from immigration when I was leaving Lagos to Accra. All right, but then when you get to Accra, I think it just takes about 2 minutes. They'll just ask you basic questions about yourself. Look at your passport. They'll ask you where you're going to stay. Just basic immigration stuff. So that's it, guys. I just gave you the tips, and I just gave you the necessary documents you need when you're traveling to Ghana. In a nutshell, I think Ghana is a really chill place, and I don't think you need to over prepare yourself when you're coming to Ghana. If you are coming to Ghana from Nigeria, just know that you're still going to feel at home, because Ghana gives this Lagos vibe. I don't know how to explain it, especially Accra. It has this Lagos vibe, so you're still going to feel like you're not far from your people. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you on my next